Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you came back here today. Thank you so much for all the support that you guys have been showing me. I am speechless. Thank you for joining me on this journey and being a part of the community that I'm so excited to be building. Today, I'd like to take time to tell you a little more about my story. And I'd like to focus on how I started my business and how I got to be where I am from my business perspective. There's so many other aspects of my life, so I think I'll break it down so it can be digestible. A lot of the things that I'm doing today, I never ever thought I'll be doing before. Like I try to think back on when I thought this will be possible, and I could not remember when I thought it would be possible. For my journey, one thing that is constant is the minute I took the first step, that was when I started believing and started seeing what things could be. So I just want to encourage you, if you're out there and you're thinking of starting something new and you don't know what it will become, you can't think about it, you can't think about what it will become, don't worry, you're not alone. I didn't have this perfect plan. I didn't know what all the years would look like, but what I was committed to do was I was committed to taking a first step. So let me take you back to why I actually started and where the passion came from me. From a very early age, I've been an entrepreneur. And I tried this out without even knowing what it was. I was trying to make some small money on the side, and I started selling a drink called Zobo. And it was the beginning for me of being able to do different things for myself, as well as build and grow from it. So I would say that was my earliest start of ever thinking that I could run a business or I could own a business and do something with it. But this business that I have now is slightly different because it's very personal. I'm not selling goods, like I'm not selling a product. I am building a community of women and also working to support women on their journey. I'd like to start from the beginning. Where did it start? In 2011, I was visiting my partner here in the US, and he came back from work, and I was telling him about how I was so passionate about wanting to start building a community of the women I knew. And I was in tears because I did not know why I was feeling so strongly about it. And I also did not know why I felt like I was the one to do something about it. But it was so heavy on my heart that I knew I had to take action. I shared with him that the reason I came up with this idea was because I was seeing the different women in my life going through similar situations, but not being able to communicate with one another, not being able to learn from one another. We were all mostly, struggling through the same challenges, but struggling on our own and struggling in silence. And it was really important for me to be able to, up-level the conversations that we were having to talk about the things that really mattered in life, but I did not know how. This is 2011. I myself was just starting in my professional career. I was going through my own challenges, but I felt like I could build something that will help other women as well. And I wanted to start with my very small network that I had and expand it to other women as well. 2011 was a very interesting year for me. I had moved to a new city. I was starting a new job. I had just dealt with a health situation that I was not expecting, but I was in a place where I was able to take a step back and evaluate and think about what I wanted to be doing in my life. And really, I am so happy that I was able to get that idea at that time, but I was very sad of what I did next. I sat on this idea for another 7 years. I let life, self-doubt, stop me from executing my dream. I want to take a pause here. I had this idea. I had the people in my network to make this happen, but I did not think that I was the right person to do this. I did not think that I was equipped with the tools to be able to do this. All this was happening in my head. I had just shared it with my partner. I had not told anybody else about it, but I was doubting myself so much that I allowed my dream to go to sleep. I did not do anything with regards to building a community until 7 years later. Saying it, I am scared of the fact that I let a dream die or I let a dream become dormant for so many years, but I'm so happy that my dream did not die. I am so happy that I was still able to build a community. So if you're out there and you have an idea, please don't be like me. Please execute your dreams. Please take a first step. I did that years after. I was a few years late, but I did that, I feel, at the right time for me. Fast forward to 2017. I'm thinking of, okay, I had this dream 7 years ago. What did I do with it? I did not do much. I'm sitting and thinking, okay, how can I make this a reality? And for me, it seemed like I was in a place where I could start executing on my dream, but I did not know how. The first step that I took was I started soaking in a lot of information. I started putting myself out there. I started going to courses, educating myself, but still I did not feel bold enough to take a first step. However, I was ready to start preparing myself for the move. Fast forward to 2018, in January, the year had started, so many things were happening, and I just felt like I needed to ground myself. I needed to do something that I really cared about, and I knew that I needed to start my business. I did not know how, because I did not know what exactly I needed to do. I knew that I wasn't going to go for profit first. I wanted to, start very simple. I knew a couple of things, and I did not know how to bring them together. And then I got very good advice, which was start with something that you can handle. Start with something that only you need to give input to and something that you can work towards. And the idea of writing my blog was one that I had had for all these years, and it was one that I knew that I could implement without a lot of external support and still get it done. Ladies, starting my blog changed my life forever. Like, I can say this confidently. Starting my blog helped me start having conversation with the women around me, conversations that really matter. Remember my dream where I wanted to build a community of women who helped each other and have conversations that mattered? My blog was that. With my blog and the conversations that spun out of the different articles that I wrote, we were able to connect on a different level. We were able to have different conversations that we never had before. We were able to get to know each other better. I was able to see the different strengths that my network had. I was introduced to new women who have become part of my network. I was introduced to bigger things that I never would have expected. I know having a blog for a year is not enough time to to see all that it can become, but I am so appreciative of what it has done in its first year. What's the lesson there? I took a first step. I started with something that was small, and it helped me get to the different areas that it was a stepping stone that I needed to step on to get to the next level. So I launched my blog in January 2018, and it's been doing amazing since then. I've been learning so much. And I started thinking of, okay, what are different ways I can take the conversation to a different level? And in April 2018, I had the idea of starting mastermind groups. Mastermind groups are peer mentoring groups where people come together and support each other on their journey as they are trying to achieve different things in life. April to July, I decided to think about what I would like to do. I prepared myself mentally. I started going and doing research about other mastermind groups, what mine might look like. And then I reached out, I did a bold thing. I reached out to my community, I reached out to 20 ladies, and I said, if I was starting a group, would you be interested? I asked them a couple of questions to find out what they would be interested in doing. And really getting a response from all of them to say, yes, I'm excited to do this. Yes, I'm interested. These are ways that I think I can grow, was another step that I was able to take. And this all within the span of 6 months. So my blog, launching my blog in January, and now it's July and I'm launching my first group. I say all this to say, back in 2011, I did not know the steps that I needed to take. I let my dream sleep. When I picked it back up, I made the commitment to take steps that will get me closer to my dream. I started seeing things happen. I launched my blog. I now have groups of women who are spending an hour and a half talking about the areas of their lives that matter the most. Like in some of the sessions, the things that get discussed amaze me. Like I'm not expecting those topics to be discussed, but people come with the heart of sharing. People come with the heart of supporting one another, and that's exactly why I started my business. That is exactly what I dreamt of in 2011, and that is exactly what I hope to be building moving forward. I did not just stop there with groups. I started thinking of different ways that I could grow my reach, different ways that I could grow my network. YouTube for me was kind of the next step on my journey, but I let doubt stop me again. So if you see a thread in my story, self-doubt is definitely something that I battled with, but that's something that I'm not letting stop me. I'm going to be bold and do things that I need to do to get to where I want to get to. With YouTube, I spent a lot of time, challenging the different topics that I wanted to discuss, asking myself if I needed to have a channel, because there's so many people out there. I mean, the YouTube market is saturated. And I started asking myself, why not? I did not know what the blog will become until I started. I did not know what the groups would become until I started. Why not be confident and take the first step? And that's exactly what I did. I was bold, confident, and I launched my YouTube channel in March 2019. Okay, honestly, it did take me a little longer. I did have to prepare. I did have to educate myself because it was something new. Video has never been something that I have been doing. So it took a little more preparation than the previous steps that I took, and I'm really, really grateful. If I summarize my journey and where I am now in my business, I definitely feel like I am in the foundational stages of my business, where I am setting foundations and setting the blocks that will help me get to where I want to be, but I am not overthinking it. I am committed to taking that one step, that second step, that third step, and slowly. For somebody who likes to plan end to end, it is sometimes very hard for me not to know what will happen in the end, but to trust that as I take steps, the end will become clearer and the end will be there. If there are 3 things that I want you to take away from this video, as somebody who might be planning to start a business, starting a new family, starting a new job, whatever it is that is new that you want to start, I want to tell you one thing. You need to take the first step. Whatever you plan, whatever you think will happen, will definitely not happen until you take that first step. And for me, I've seen it in different aspects of starting my business, and I want to encourage you to take that first step. The second thing that I want you to do, and I want to encourage you to do, is after you take the first step, don't be afraid to take another step. So it's good to take the first step and get it done. As you take the first step, you learn other things that will help you. You'll learn other things that you need to be doing to get closer to where you need to go. Take the second step. The third thing, I would always recommend that you do research and educate yourself of what your journey means, where you're going on your journey, where you want to be, what it will take to do whatever you want to do. I feel like I was able to take those solid steps because I had a good foundation. I had spent some time, maybe too long, doing my research, but I was able to build on something and move on. But please, before you go, please don't forget to thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends. Let's make our dreams come true. All in all, I want to encourage you to take that bold step. Do what you want to do. Live out your dreams and do not doubt yourself. Thank you very much for watching my video. See you next time.